All right, folks, welcome to our social media tutorial. Uh, you see the screen the way that it is set up here. It kind of looks like the Brady Bunch. That everybody's in a little box right now. If you see down in the lower right-hand corner, there is a chat box. If you want to write questions, that's okay. Also, I am going to share my screen with you so that you can see the screen of what I'm talking about. When I share the screen with you, I won't be able to see your faces or the chat box, but I will try my best to come out of sharing the screen from time to time so that I can look at the chat box or answer your questions as you may have them. So I'm going to start off by saying that most of what I'm talking about today, I'm going to spend the greatest amount of time on Facebook for us and how we can best use that together. Once I am kind of through with that and answering a whole bunch of questions, then I am going to just briefly hit on the church's Instagram and Twitter, just so that you see what that is and know that it is out there. But like I said, we'll be spending most of my time on Facebook today. I see Carolyn up there in her box. We finally made it on with Carolyn. Welcome, Carolyn. We're glad that you're back with us. All right, folks. So I'm going to share my screen with you so that you see what I'm seeing. Let me see. Okay. Yes, I can see your faces over there on the side. That makes me happy. Okay, so this is what Facebook looks like on your computer. If you're playing with Facebook on an iPad or your phone, it's probably going to look a little different. But for the most part, this is what your Facebook is going to look like. This is what your home screen looks like. So if you just log in and you click on home, then that's what you're going to see. Now you'll see that there's this shortcuts over here on the left-hand side, and I have the church's group and page pinned to my shortcuts. I'm going to show you how to put those over there so that the group and the page are easier for you to find in the not too distant future, but we'll come back to that. So this is the church's page. Like I said, mine might look a little bit different than yours does because I'm an administrator on the page. If you are not an administrator on the page, then you probably don't have some of the insights and notification stuff that's up at the top of my page that I have where I edit things. But here next to share, where this little three dots are, if you click there, you get a drop down box. And in this drop down box, you see mine says unpin from shortcuts, because mine is, the page is already pinned to my shortcuts. So if I click there, it would take it away from the shortcuts, but yours will say pin to shortcuts. And so if you click there, then the page is going to show up over here on these shortcuts. The same thing with the group. So if you want to use shortcuts as your easy kind of express route to get to the places that you really want to get to, that's where you pin things to your shortcuts. While I'm here on this screen, your home screen, I want to go ahead and give just a little word of this. One of the things that you see in my emails that I send out to you that talks about like and share things. And the reason why that is so important for us is the way that Facebook works these days is not in a chronological order. It works on an algorithm so that what is more popular moves to the top of the list. So if you go over here where it says news feed and see the three dots next to news feed over here on the left-hand side, you'll see that it says top stories rather than most recent. So most recent would be in chronological order so that the most recent thing is at the top. Top stories means that the thing that is most popular, meaning has gotten the most likes, the most shares, the most comments on it, that is what makes it to the top. Now, here's the tricky part. I could right now switch mine over to most recent. If I do that, then it will show it in chronological order, but it won't stay that way. Facebook does not want you to see what is most recent. Facebook wants you to see what is most popular. So even if I click most recent right now, and I just leave it alone, in a few minutes, it will automatically switch back to top stories, to what is most popular, so that you're going to see that. So every time that you see me tell you, like this, share this, comment on this, the reason for that is if the things that the church is posting don't get that many likes, shares, comments, then it doesn't move up in your news feed and everybody else's news feed that might see it. It gets pushed down to the point where people can't see it anymore, even if they click most recent, because it will change back to top stories fairly quickly. Okay, so that's shortcuts and pinning things to your shortcuts and kind of an understanding about how the news feed operates. I'm going to go back to the church's page, but then I'm going to stop sharing real quick just so that I can answer any questions that you have so far. I'm going to stop for a second, and if you have questions about what I just said, write them in the chat box for me so that I can try to answer your questions as we go along. I'm not seeing any yet, so I'm going to go ahead and move forward with my next point. So this is back to our church's page. Now, remember, the church has two things. The church has a page and a group. The page is designed as the external, like outward focused part of Facebook. Think about the page as a billboard on the highway. This is where we want people to see what's going on. And now, of course, it's going to have information for people who are internal to the church, but this is also information that we want to broadcast. This is information that we want to share with the world. So there are a couple of things that you can do from time to time on this page as well. So here, underneath the cover photo, I'm sure that most of you have already clicked like on the page so that you like the church's page. When you like it, that means that it's going to start popping up in your news feed. But then share here with this arrow. If I click there, then this box is going to come up and I can type something here. This is the best church ever. Maybe not that. Maybe you don't want to post that, but so you can write something that's in there, and then you see where it says share on your timeline, and then I would click post, and this would show up on my own timeline for my friends to see. If I click on this little drop down box where the arrow is going down, it gives me other options. So I can share it directly to a friend's timeline. So if I want to put this from me to Sue Pearson, then I could share this directly to Sue's timeline. I can share it in a group that I'm a part of. So some of you are a part of like the infield forum for infield community members. Sometimes I share to that group. You can share it in an event that you have been planning on going to. Most of you probably are not managing a page of your own, but you can share it in a private message. So if I don't want to share it for the world, I just want to share it to a friend, I want to share a private message with a friend, then I change it to share in a private message. And when I do that, it gives me the opportunity to, these are my recent friends that I have interacted with, or I can look up somebody else. So if I want to look up Jonathan Chapman, then I can send directly to Jonathan. And so that would go in a private message for Jonathan. Okay, so that's share. The other thing is inviting friends. If you scroll down here to community, you'll see that currently 467 people like the page, but you can click invite friends. And when you click invite friends, then your list of friends are going to come up. These are my friends who have already liked the page, but the ones who have a circle, an open circle next to them, have not yet been invited or liked it. So if I click on a friend's name with an open circle, then a check mark comes up. And so you see send invites to one person I have invited. Click again, send invites to 2. And so when I click send invites, then an invitation for those 2 friends to like the page has then gone out. So that helps more people to like the page and see what's going on at the church whenever you ask your friends to like the page as well. All right, so that's just the page itself. So then on the left-hand side, you get these boxes so that you can see the photos on the page, the videos. If we post a job offer to the world for them to apply for a job at the church, that goes there. But I'm going to click on events. So this takes you to the events that are outward focused, right? These are events that we are sharing with the world so that everyone is invited to come to them. So if you click into an event, so like morning prayer is tomorrow morning. We will have it tomorrow morning at 10:30. If you click into the event, then it has a whole bunch of information for you. You see that it has multiple dates. There are 8 dates that I have already put together. We'll see how many more times we need to do morning prayer while the church is closed. But for right now, there's 8 of them. That's 4 weeks worth that I have put out there. And right here, you'll see the RSVP box. So I've already said for Tuesday, tomorrow morning, that I'm going. If I change the date on it to Thursday morning, or Thursday morning open prayer, morning prayer, then it gives you the option of saying you're interested, like you're thinking about going. Interested means you're thinking about going, you're not really sure yet. And going means that you're really, really going. So I'm going to click going because I promise that I'm going to be there on Thursday morning. Then it shows you how many people have responded, whether they are going or not here. You can click on this to see who all is included. Details gives you all of the instructions for the event. So it tells you that this event will be each Tuesday and Thursday morning, and it's going to be on Zoom. And so here's the link that you click to get on Zoom for the morning prayer service. Or you can call in like Carolyn did when she first joined us. If you can't come in on your computer, then you can always call in on your phone. And then if you want to share in Messenger, and then these are just pictures that have been tagged in the church over the years. They just show up there to say that this is what's going on at the church. So that's an event that you have and how you RSVP for it. But let me tell you about inviting and sharing here too. So the share box here has a drop down box whenever you hover over it. The share box there has these 3 options that come up: invite friends, share in Messenger, or share as post. So when you hover over share, invite friends, this is where I would invite my friends to come join us for morning prayer. So I'll bug Jonathan with this one. So if I click on Jonathan, he's going to come up in my selected, and I would send invite. So I can send an invitation to my friends for them to come and join us. So in my emails, whenever you see invite your friends, that's what I'm talking about. Invite friends. It's right there under that share box in the event. Share Messenger, that's what I was talking about before. That is, you can share this event in a private message with anybody, any of your friends. But then share as post, this is where you get this box again, where I would type something in there: join us for morning prayer. And I'm going to share this on my timeline so that people can see what is going on with my friends. I'll go ahead and post that now. So then it just told me that that I shared it. Okay, I'm going to come out of this screen so I can see you. I don't see that any of you have written any questions in the chat box, but I'm going to unmute folks for a second. Does it? Let's see. Does anybody have any questions?
I do.
All right, Sue, what's up?
I got on Zoom today because I followed the prompt from your email.
Right.
Now, I know I can't be here in the morning at 10:30, but I am interested in Thursday morning. So how do I get from my computer to go to Zoom to get my page to tell you I'm interested? Once I leave here, I walk away from my computer. Now I got to start all over again to get back to Zoom. How do I do that?
Okay, you can do it a couple of different ways. One is there is a link in the email that I sent you. So if you look at the email about us being a part that I sent Sunday afternoon, it will give you a link for morning prayer. So if you click that link in the email, that is one way. The other way is to go to that event from the church's page, and in the description, it will show you the link. I'll walk you through it again. So let me share my.
Would that be through Facebook then? Do I go
That's
through
correct.
Facebook? Yeah, okay, so I go on Facebook and then I look the shortcuts to the church, and that's where I'll get it.
Right. So if I'm on my home page,
Yeah.
right, so this is my home page, then I'm going to go to the church's page.
The church's page. Yeah.
Right. And then here's events. And then here's morning prayer. The next one down is Wednesday Bible study.
Yeah.
Right. The next one is the gift cards event that I sent out to everybody. All right. So I'm going to click into morning prayer. And then when I scroll down to the description of the event details, then there's my Zoom link right there.
Okay. Because right now you're on Facebook then, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So okay. I get it.
Right. I'm doing my best to get out the information in every way that I possibly can. So I'm putting out the same information in Facebook and in emails. You'll see it pop up on Instagram and Twitter if you ever find yourself there. I'll show everybody that in a little bit.
I haven't done any of those. I'll tell you, last Thursday was my first Facebook experience.
Yay, Zoom. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Greg.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a few parents that are not on the church's email because they never got into the system as of yet. They're pretty new to our system. Can I just forward those emails to you, and then you can put them in the church email?
I can do that. Yes.
When you do the the weekly one. All right. I'll try to remember to get those out to you.
Yeah. Give me
I don't want them to get forgotten.
Yeah. Get me names, contact information, and we'll get them hooked in.
Okay.
All right. Any more questions while we're paused for a second?
Pastor, this is Randy.
Yes, Randy.
Wonderful tutorial. And one question. This is great for gatherings and meetings. And I'm wondering, because you are recording these things, is that now in a saved format that you can transfer it to perhaps your online sermons, your online services?
So Zoom will be used for the morning prayer service. So if you join us at 10:30 in the morning, we will have a Zoom morning prayer. So just like I'm sharing my screen with you to show you around Facebook, I'll share my screen, and that will be the bulletin for morning prayer. It'll be the order of worship for people to join along with the bulletin in front of them.
So it won't necessarily be interactive, though.
Yes, you will be unmuted. And so just like we have a responsive call to worship on Sunday mornings, I will have my part of the call to worship, and you'll have your part.
That's terrific. I'm glad to hear that. that.
Okay, so that is the Facebook page and events for how to like and share and comment on the Facebook page and the events. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen now. And all right, so there's my computer screen. So rather than going to the church's page, remember the page is the outward focused billboard advertisement to the world. The group, the church's group, is just what that sounds like. It is internal. It is inwardly focused for our group of people. So right now we've got 62 members in the group. I hope that gets larger as we have more church members and as more church members join us on Facebook. But this is where you're going to see announcements. So that's the announcement at the top of this page is about our gift cards and supporting our local business community. And then anyone who is in the group can post in the group, and this is a great place for prayer requests and words of hope and just all kinds of things that are dealing with us internally that we want to share together that might not really be appropriate for the outside world, but it's appropriate for us to share with each other. Okay. But it works much the same as the page does. Over here on the side, you're going to see events. And events is going to take you to events that are for our group members, not so much for the outside world. So today's social media tutorial is for our group members. It's not so much for anybody in Enfield that wanted to come to this. And then there are other kind of UCC churchy things that are for our group members, not so much for, all right, I'm going to stop sharing for a second and then remute everybody so that I'm not getting background noise. All right, back to it. So here's our list of events. So I'll just click into the social media tutorial. So this is the one that we are currently in. You're going to see that it is it looks much the same as an external event, but there are some differences. The first one is you see invite doesn't quite look the same because the only people who get invited to this are people who are in the group. This is not, you can't share out of the group to the outside world. So if you click share, the only people that are going to see it are people who are already in the group. You can't share out of the group to the rest of the world. But it's going to show you who all has said that they are coming or interested. You'll see 45 more people were invited that did not RSVP one way or another. We're going to have to train some folks that if you're not coming, say you're not going to come. If you're coming, say you're going to come. It's like a sign-up sheet at church. If you're coming, sign up on the sign-up sheet, right? So this is basically your online version of a sign-up sheet. And then here's your description. So the description tells you what the event is about. And then here's the link where you can join Zoom, or if you're not on a computer that you can actually get on Zoom, then you can call in and listen to the meeting, listen to morning prayer, listen to our Wednesday evening Bible study without having a screen in front of you. Does that all make sense? All right, I'm coming out of share. Keep using the chat box over here if you have any questions for me while you're on mute. You do have the ability to unmute yourself if you want to. Carolyn looks like she wants to say something. So
oh, there it is. Okay.
You're unmuted.
Okay, I see it now. I see mute, invite, participate, share. Oh, there's the chat. Okay. I didn't have the thing on the bottom. I couldn't see it.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. So I'll go back to sharing my screen. Okay. So I will just come back to the group. So this is the group. And at any point in time, whether we are quarantined or we're back together again, we'll still use this group. And this is for us just to kind of keep in touch with each other through the week. Even if you see each other at church on Sunday morning, and something happens Sunday afternoon that you want to share with everybody, then you write in this post and say, the most amazing thing just happened, right? And you can put pictures. So if you want to add a picture, so like there's my, oh my goodness, I've got to move y'all so I can do it. There's my Bible study picture, and I can post that in the group by clicking post here, but I won't do that for right now. But remember the two different things that are there. There is the page, the church's page, outward focused. That's what is going on with advertising for the world to see. And then the group is just for us. It is the people who belong to the church and friends of the church who might be coming to our internal things that are interested in what's going on. So like whenever we have annual meeting that would be coming up, I would post an event inviting everyone in the church membership to annual meeting. The random person who lives down the street doesn't care that our church is having annual meeting. In fact, they might find it horribly, horribly boring. So we are not going to post that the church is having annual meeting to anyone who lives on, Enfield Street. Whatever, they're not going to really care about that. But whenever the church is having the tag sale or the craft fair, those are things that we want the outside world to know about. And so those events make it onto the church's page so that we can advertise those kinds of things onto the church's page. Okay, so there's the two kinds of pieces of Facebook. I'm going to move on to Instagram and Twitter briefly, but before I do that, I'm going to ask one more time if there are any questions. So I'm unmuting everybody so that you can ask whatever questions.
I'm good.
Everybody's good.
Can I make one comment?
Yes, ma'am.
I did notice that the Nearly New shop was listed. So do they have their own Facebook page?
They do indeed. I will show you that before I go on to Instagram and Twitter. Any other questions? Okay. I will share my screen again. Okay, so just briefly, I have it pinned to my shortcuts. Here's the Nearly New page. One thing that you'll see, I just posted for Nearly New. My last post on Nearly New had said that we were going to reopen on March 30th, and we know at this point that March 30th was rather ambitious for us to think that we were all going to be back up and running by then. So I made this post to say that we would not be opening on March 30th, and for people just to watch this space, and we'll make an announcement for our opening date. So this is the Nearly New shop. So you can find Nearly New announcements that will be here. Okie dokie. So I will tell you, I'm going to show you on my computer. I'm going to share my computer screen to show you Instagram and Twitter. This is going to look odd because Instagram and Twitter really are designed to be used on your cell phone. So it's going to look somewhat odd on a computer screen when it's a platform that is designed to be used on a handheld device. But I want you to know that it's out there and exists in the world. So here is Instagram. This is everything that the church has posted on Instagram. You'll see these pictures. They come up in my emails. Once we get back to a hard copy bulletin, these come up in a bulletin that the church would be having. Sorry, Lynn just joined us, so I just added her in. But these are basically all of the announcements kinds of stuff that that goes out in other places, but it goes out here too. So this is what our page looks like. Instagram also has a news feed, and the news feed is made up of people that the church follows. The way that I have done this with the church for right now is if you live in Enfield, then you have been added to the church's Instagram feed. So if you're wondering, like, how did these people get onto the church's Instagram? It's either UCC churches, so it's churches in our denomination. So like that's the First Congregational Church of Bristol that is currently in front of my cursor. But so it's churches plus the people who live in Enfield. So if you live in Enfield and post on Instagram, I have added you. That is just so that we get our word out there. Okay, so these are all the folks that come up in our timeline. So like I said, it's somewhat bizarre because this is designed to be on a handheld device, on a cell phone, for you to be able to click pictures and that kind of thing. I'm going to stop sharing. Joe said, is anyone seeing his screen right now? Is there everybody? I'm unmuting folks. Oh, I'm unmuting.
Still watching
folks.
you.
Were you not seeing my screen?
No.
Are you?
I
Was
only
everybody
see you.
else seeing my
I saw it. I love the message outside the church that Noah only took 2.
Okay.
I love that.
Hi, Lynn.
Oh, I see Lynn.
Yeah, for some reason, I only see you.
Who is you,
Yeah.
Joe?
Oh, hi,
Mr. Gray.
Randy.
So you only see Pastor Thomas. You don't have anything at the top bar.
All right, I'm going to
There
share it
is no-
again and
The computer
let's see if
screen
you see
never
it.
showed up. Now I see it.
Now you see it?
Okay, I have a
Now I see
question. I don't have the church on my Instagram. How do I like
Add it.
Well, where
So
do I add?
Okay, I'm going to pull up Instagram on my phone and I'll tell you
Because
where to go.
I have
So
very
down
few
at the
Instagrams, and I'm not on. Church is not on mine.
So down at the bottom, you'll see the magnifying glass.
Yes, search.
That's your search.
Yeah, I don't do
So-
Instagram very much.
So then if you click search,
Okay, and then do Enfield.
Enfield UCC.
All right, then I can like you, and I'll be on it.
Exactly.
You have to like him first.
I
Yeah.
have to like it first.
Well, how come I'm on it? I got on it, Carolyn.
Well,
Good
I
job,
guess I was
Sue.
not included in that whole
No,
entire.
you must have done something. You came through fine.
Yeah, I'm
Good.
okay. I've got it now. I've never had it.
I
Okay.
don't have a magnifying glass though at the bottom.
But
Are you looking at it on a phone or on your computer? So
Oh, me? I'm on a
Yes.
computer, laptop.
right, yeah. So like I said, that Instagram is really designed for a phone, for you to use it on your phone. It's not so much designed for you to to use it on a laptop. So you have much more functionality for this on your phone than you do on your laptop. Okay. I'm going to just briefly switch over. So this is Twitter. You may have nightmares about Twitter, as many of my friends do, because there's one very prominent individual who is on Twitter a lot, who shares his thoughts on a daily basis.
Yep.
I would suggest that you steer clear of that, but the church is on Twitter anyway. So here's our own Twitter. This is all the things that we have tweeted out, and so most of these are our events or the pictures that you just saw on Instagram. And these are also things that we have retweeted from another place. So like Enfield High School tweeted, and I retweeted it on behalf of the church, right? So that is all of our stuff. Or you can go home, and home is now just like your Facebook news feed. So this is all of the people that we follow as a church. So that's Needham UCC. They tweeted 2 hours ago. And anything shows up here that anybody that we follow has retweeted, right? So all of that is on Twitter. That's Emily Heath. Dr. Emily Heath is the pastor of the Exeter Church in Exeter, New Hampshire.
Oh no, I got a phone call.
Oh, I didn't mute y'all back, did I?
Me.
Because I now know that Sue got a phone call. All right, folks. So that is Instagram and Twitter. Are there any questions on Instagram and Twitter?
Yeah, okay. You called it.
You're
I'm
still
her mother.
muted.
That's okay. Okay.
All right, let's see.
My dear brother-in-law, Lauren's twin, Gary, lived right next door to the Exeter church there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, when the bells rang, his apartment shook.
that sounds about right. Okay. I'll mute folks one more time. So one other question that I had that has come to me via email and online was people ask me about how do I change my profile picture on Facebook? Because one of the things that I said to folks was, I got one Sunday with y'all. I was looking forward to my second Sunday, and then it didn't happen. So I'm still getting to know people with names and faces. So if you have a profile picture that is a picture of your dog, that is super cute, but that does not help me in the slightest to know who you are and like your name and face together. So I'm beseeching you to make certain that if we're interacting on Facebook together, that for at least the time being, that you have a picture of your face so that I can get to know who you are. So one more time, back to Facebook. I'm going to go to my own page. And so this is what my own page looks like. Now, as opposed to the news feed, where I told you about, the news feed does not work in chronological order. It works in order of what's most popular. On my own page, all of this is in chronological order of the order in which I have posted it, or it's been posted to me. So all of this happens from most recent at the top to the oldest, the further that you scroll down, okay? But here's my cover photo and my profile picture. So if I want to change my cover photo, then I hover over my cover photo and it says update cover photo. And I click there and it gives me options of what to do. So if the cover photo is not centered the way that I want it to, I can click reposition and I can move the cover photo so that the part of it that I want the world to see is in there. If I go back there and I say upload photo, then I can upload a new photo, click choose, and change out what my cover photo is going to be. The same thing happens with my profile picture. So I hover over my profile picture and update comes up and I click update. And then I can change my picture or I can add a frame to it. So there are all kinds of frames that I can add, but I could change my profile picture to something else and then click save. Okay. So all of you who are on this this Zoom right now might know exactly how to change your profile picture, but I'm also recording this for the people who are going to watch this video in the not too distant future, so that they know how to change their profile picture as well. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to unmute folks, and I'm going to say this. Let me recap about the Facebook page and group one more time, just so that you are aware. Facebook page is for the outside world to see. That's our advertising platform. I invite you to go to the different events, invite your friends to them, share them on your own timeline so that the world will be able to see. Go to the church's page, invite friends to like the church's page, and you will be able to help us get more likes and more people to see what's going on. But remember that the more likes, shares, and comments that any of the posts, events that the church's page has, the more frequently it pops up in someone's timeline whenever they log into Facebook. The group is designed just for our own group members. So that's for the place for us to share what is going on internally at the church, our prayer requests, our announcements, our cute memes and cat pictures. That's where that should happen internally to the group. All right, folks, that's about all I've got on my end. One more time, are there any questions that you might have?
What's your favorite color?
Green.
Okay.
Kelly green, to be specific. So for folks who are watching this recorded at a later time, please feel free to get in touch with me and I will walk you through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you want my help with. And I will do my best to help hold us together in these days that we are apart. Folks, thanks for joining this Zoom tutorial today, and I hope to talk with you again soon. Have a good day.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye now. Bye now.
Bye.